majority of investors in the Canadian tech scene know the story of WELL Health, TSX ticker symbol WELL, a company that has more or less spawned an entire digital health sector in the Canadian public markets. But most have not heard of the upstart HEALWELL AI, which trades on the TSX under the symbol AIDX. That's because the latter recently went through a name change and then received a transformative investment from the former, which has always been about marrying healthcare with technology that can help improve its outcomes. Today, we sit down with WELL Health CEO Hamed Shahbazi and HEALWELL AI CEO Dr. Alexander Dobranowski to talk about this new partnership, artificial intelligence, and what we can expect for the future. Hamed, you've had quite a busy year. Can you provide a bit of review of 2023 for WELL and how the HEALWELL AI collaboration and investment works within WELL's strategy?
Yeah, no, thanks, Amber. We have had quite a year, 2023. We have elevated our organic growth. We have really demonstrated that we can deliver not only growth, but growth on a per share basis, which is, I think, really key for shareholders. We've beaten and raised effectively every single quarter on every single quarterly this year. And we've been innovative and creative in how we've run the company. One of those areas of innovation, I would say, is really the collaboration with HEALWELL. HEALWELL is a sort of a repurposed public company that is being focused on being a pure play AI story in the healthcare landscape. And to me, that's sort of the best news, best good news story that we have around AI is healthcare, and how this incredibly powerful fundamental technology can help disrupt in a positive way to help healthcare providers and the health ecosystem not only become more efficient, but provide better health outcomes. And we just know as well, because we're a company that focuses on the healthcare provider, and tech enables the healthcare provider. That is our overarching mission as a company. We know that the business of being a healthcare provider profoundly changes over the next several years. There's just so much that healthcare providers are sort of expected to know and understand. They meet a new patient, and that patient may have hundreds of pages worth of medical history, and it is expected that they know and understand all that, and that's just not really possible. And I think in all cases, and that's what's so unique and phenomenal about the HEALWELL technology, is that it can help healthcare providers through clinical decision support systems that leverage artificial intelligence and can dig deep in that data and help surface insights and help the care provider triage and the best outcome. And to us, we've seen examples of that already happen. HEALWELL and their company Cure Health, the Cure service is a partner of our app marketplace today, and so we've already seen it work for rare disease, and I know HEALWELL is now taking it to the next level with all kinds of different chronic care, as well as just broadly preventative care using AI. So to us, this is directionally where the world is heading, and this gives us an opportunity to really participate fully in that vision.
Alex, many investors are new to the HEALWELL story. Can you provide some insight on HEALWELL's vision and how WELL is helping to facilitate that vision?
Sure, Amber, I'd love to. Very important question, right? We're a company that debuted October 1, so about 7 weeks ago now. And, I'll take a quick step back. I did want to dovetail off of what Hamed just mentioned, right? And some of the tremendous success that WELL Health has had. And I'm in a very privileged position where, as the CEO of HEALWELL AI, I get to work very closely with one of the most visionary healthcare technology CEOs, in my view, in North America or globally, right? Hamed, who's built actually a critical healthcare technology company that's part of the fabric of healthcare in Canada. So we have this tremendous partner behind us, and that's really important. I think a place to start when I'm talking about how is HEALWELL positioned from an investor's perspective? So that's number one. And HEALWELL AI is a company that's focused on harnessing revolutionary technologies such as data science and artificial intelligence technologies to really move the needle forward on preventative care. And the part of the spectrum that we're focused on in preventative care is in early disease detection. And that's something that I'm incredibly passionate about, that Hamid's really passionate about. And as the well health ecosystem grows, and by the way, they've grown 40% from a top line perspective in Q3 compared to the previous year, which is at their scale, that's an incredible rate of growth. And why that's important is they're touching over 1 million lives per quarter. So we're in the position now at HEALWELL AI where we've validated, created, and now deployed technology that can touch that many lives at scale. So my final point and comment to your question is that it wasn't even that many years ago where most healthcare companies and health systems were not even digitized, let alone on cloud infrastructure, or let alone in a position like Well Health, right, where they're one of the leaders in healthcare technology, where you can actually introduce this technology into. So it's an extremely exciting time right now, and an extremely exciting time to be leading an innovative company like HEALWELL AI. And then, of course, in Hamid's camp, right, leading one of the largest healthcare companies in North America. And to be honest, in my view, Hamid is just getting started, right? So this is a very exciting time for investors to get introduced to our story, and of course, to support our story too.
Hamid, with WELL's established presence in the Canadian healthcare landscape, how do you plan to integrate artificial intelligence into existing services?
I think what's really unique about this partnership is Alex and his team had the incredible foresight to make an acquisition in their predecessor company, and engaged with 6 of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in the world as it relates to supporting these critical decision system capabilities for healthcare providers. So a viable business model already exists, and we've already integrated that into one of our premier EMRs here in Canada. So actually, that's what's great about this. Typically these partnerships are announced and it takes forever to actually do something. But in this case, we already have a viable integration on our app marketplace, which is our ecosystem where startups and emerging key digital health players can get safe and secure access to our EMR data after they go through a vetting process. And we've already been through that. And so we've already seen our healthcare providers participate, and we've already seen the integration work. And so we're already live, and we now believe that we can ramp that up significantly. My vision at Well is to have every single one of our healthcare providers be enabled with this technology. We know that most of them would probably use it. We never tell our healthcare providers how to provide care, but we know that that most, and if not all of them, want to leverage technology to provide better health outcomes. So I think it's creating connectivity with the tools that they use every single day and making those tools more capable and performant. And that is essentially what we're focused on.
Alex, I wanted to ask you about a recent announcement, a relatively sizable acquisition in Penter. Could you talk a little bit about this transaction and how the AI assets fit well within HEALWELL?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd love to speak in a fulsome way about this because it is very, very exciting. And I just wanted to reframe from a timeline perspective. So we had announced a financing October 1, and the renaming and relaunching of the company. And subsequent to that, in short order, we announced a second financing, and then we did 2 material transactions in a span now, which is about 7 weeks. So I'll say we're off to the races out of the gates. And part of the strategy of HEALWELL AI is to be a disciplined capital allocator. And and I work very closely with Hamid, and I'm executing on a strategy that he has had tremendous success on at Well Health and also his previous companies. So we are really focused on, at the moment, accelerating an M&A roadmap, right, to bring in key competencies and capabilities into HEALWELL. And the announcement that you're referring to is our majority stake acquisition of a company called Penter. And Penter, in our view, has developed and validated some of the absolute best artificial intelligence technology in healthcare in Canada. And we spoke to many companies. We got to learn about the landscape. I've been steeped in this space for a number of years. We've been one of the only companies at HEALWELL to demonstrate commercial capability and competency in healthcare AI. And Penter was one of the only other ones. So a very exciting acquisition that brings in a number of capabilities that expands the strengths of HEALWELL. And by proxy, these capabilities also expand the strength of Well Health. And I'll speak simplistically just for a moment, right? Because, healthcare as an industry, it generates the most clinical information, the most data out of any sector that exists. And one of the biggest hurdles that AI companies are faced with is they can't get access to data that's well structured. It's coming from all sorts of sources. Some of it's free text, some of it's coming through faxes or emails or attachments. And Penter has built an engine that can take all that data, ingest it, and then structure it so then it can be analyzed and you can run analytics on it. So it's a really important step of building out our fundamental data engine, as we call it, and really now sets the stage, because as we move forward to acquire other companies, that data engine is going to be one of the underpinning foundation blocks, right? The core of some of our capability.
Hamid, maybe I could take a second and just ask you your reaction to the HEALWELL acquisition of Penter. What do you think that means?
I think it's a momentous occasion for Canadian healthcare. I think now with what HEALWELL had before, and with their cure capabilities, and when you add Penter and the ability to leverage AI to structure healthcare data in the way that they can, I think it's a great complement to the capabilities they had with Cure Health. When you combine that with the tremendous access that they have to patients and providers and data through the Well Health partnership, I'm not sure there is another company in the country that can equal them in terms of prowess in the space. I would say that they are now the key market leader in the space, and I think they are also going to be quite instrumental in solving problems and helping U.S. healthcare providers as well, and healthcare information custodians. It's this type of technology that they've acquired through the Penter acquisition does not grow on trees. It is very unique, and the types of people that power this type of technology are also extremely difficult to find. So we have a fantastic partnership, with the Penter folks through the HEALWELL relationship, and I know we're thrilled about it. And as we were doing our work, and Alex mentioned our AI investment program. This is we talked to over 100 companies, and Penter was one of the most impressive that we had spoken to. So we are incredibly supportive of this move.
Hamid, let's dive a little bit further into WELL's strategic goals in terms of AI adoption. I know you already touched on this, but I'm really curious, as we expand this conversation, are there particular areas of healthcare or patient services where you see artificial intelligence having the most impact?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've already launched 3 very important products at Well to support our healthcare providers that are underpinned by AI technology. One is Well AI Voice, which is an ambient voice scribe. The second is Well AI Decision Support, which is essentially related to our exclusive relationship with Alex and the HEALWELL team. And that is what, again, enables doctors to operate with new insights based on the data that's reviewed and essentially developed for key insights for care providers to triage. And the third is Well AI inbox admin, which essentially helps create a workflow manager and orchestrate workflows associated with things like faxes and phone calls and different things that need to be streamlined and automated. Um, you know, this is such an important area for us that we did not want to do it off the side of our desk. The probably the most important and biggest one of those three products is decision support. It's not just one product; it is an ocean in itself. I mean, there are thousands of rare diseases. There's chronic disease. There's so many things that need to be done, and in terms of solving those healthcare challenges. And most of the solutions to those healthcare challenges exist in the data. And what Alex just said about the ability for Pentavir's engine and now HEALWELL's engine to be able to take that unstructured data and structure it means everything. Because this means that we can actually query that data. It means it becomes useful. Healthcare information custodians have been sitting on mountains of data that they have not been able to get any real value out of until this type of technology comes along. So, this is why the press release that HEALWELL put out really talked about helping solve some of the most important and challenging healthcare challenges out there. And I think that's what this technology can do. So coming back to your question, a big part of the value creation strategy that we have is not only applying these technologies and helping our providers, but through our ownership, our economic ownership of HEALWELL. So we are the largest security holder on an as converted basis. If you take all the debentures and warrants and you convert them, we're the largest securities holder, and we intend on not only maintaining but growing our stake. We're extremely excited and bullish to support Alex and his team and continue to do everything we can to see this vision through.
Alex, before I ask each of you what your vision is for 2024, I wanted to ask you, how has the M&A pipeline expanded with WELL's strategic involvement? And will HEALWELL be largely focused on organic initiatives, or are there other technologies out there that are catching your eye?
Sure. Yeah, thank you. And I mentioned before just how important the strategic aim is of being a disciplined capital allocator for HEALWELL AI. And, there's been a number of course, very helpful benefits of our partnership with WELL Health. And one has been that they had launched about 10 months ago their AI-oriented investment fund, and they've had some tremendous successes there. And the team that I get to work with closely at WELL Health has been able to canvas the landscape in healthcare technology and AI in North America and other jurisdictions. And that was part of the rolling start we had in terms of what kind of companies out there with key capabilities could be a good fit or a good target for HEALWELL AI. So I'm mentioning that we only debuted 7 weeks ago, but we had a real running start in terms of getting a granular understanding of the landscape. And so, Amber, going forward, right, there's going to be a large focus on inorganic growth. Yes, we have a very rigorous plan around organic growth, but to answer your question, there's a equally, if not larger, focus on inorganic growth. And I'll just justify that quickly. So we've entered into a time period now where these technologies are just starting to mature a bit. A few years ago, not many of them were generating much revenue. No one really had a key path to profitability. But now they've validated, they're starting to grow. And in our view, I think Hamid and myself were in fierce agreement on this, that there's an opportunity here to go and take advantage of being an early mover into this space, and acquire these companies and build that singular unifying clinical decision support platform like nobody has built. But we can't just do it from our own investment in R&D. We're going to acquire and bring in that talent, bring in that validation, right, to execute against that mission.
Ahmed, this is a perfect opportunity to switch our focus a little bit and end with a conversation about the future. What currently excites you the most about WELL's future in 2024?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. We have actually indicated that our guidance is being raised again for 2024. Recently, we've guided that we will achieve more than $900 million in revenues next year, which is another significant double-digit sort of increase from 2023. And given past behavior, I think most people understand that also gives us an opportunity to continue to beat and raise, as we have been doing quite regularly. So if you look at our track record, we've been extremely on point at being able to deliver to the street. And a lot of that is because we've had persistent organic growth, and we've continued to have a productive M&A engine. I think we have probably one of the best corporate development functions in this business, having done over 60 deals and integrated them in a very competent way. One of the things that I really love about what's happened with WELL over the last couple of years is our brand. Our brand has grown to a point that a lot of the doctors and the practices that are struggling out there, we know we have a healthcare crisis, we know the doctors are overburdened, are now approaching us and asking us to help them run their practices. So previously, there were practices that we were buying for sometimes millions of dollars. And now we are literally recruiting those practices as absorptions. Which become part of our organic revenue profile. And this is one of the reasons why I think our organic growth will actually accelerate into next year. We'll continue to do the odd tuck-in as we do. We're very, very disciplined. Alex talked about that disciplined capital allocation program. It is definitely a staple of our business. And so I think how I'll sort of simplify this is, we've been a very good manager and deployer of resources. But the thing that we think about more and more every day at WELL is our resourcefulness, not necessarily our resources. We live in a high rate environment, and I'm very proud of the team for demonstrating the resourcefulness that we have, which is resulted in above average organic growth and continued enhancements in delivering and profitability. So overall, I'm very bullish. I think there's a very good chance that we'll cross the $1 billion barrier next year on a run rate basis, hopefully for the total year, although that's not our guidance.
Alex, I want to ask you the same question. As we look forward, how do you imagine the future in 2024, and what excites you the most?
Amber, I think without a doubt, 2024 is going to be an incredibly exciting year for HEALWELL AI. And I'll just touch on again the fact that we've had really compelling momentum since we debuted 7 weeks ago, where I mentioned we did 2 financings, 2 material transactions, one which was a minority investment, and the other was a majority acquisition of that outstanding company, Penter. And we believe that momentum is just going to keep building and even accelerate throughout next year. So you're going to see just tremendous growth. You're going to see us add really strong artificial intelligence capabilities that'll strengthen our current core of capabilities. And in my view, that's going to start to highlight us as not just a leader in artificial intelligence in healthcare in Canada, but I think from also a global perspective. And I'll just dovetail for a second, because it's critical that we also are able to deploy and scale this technology into WELL Health, like we've already started to do today. And really because we'll be able to measure and really demonstrate the impact that this technology can have on patient lives and patient outcomes. And I think Hamid and I are in both, real alignment that at the end of the day, that is the most important part of our missions. Can we impact millions of patient lives in a better way?
Hamid, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks, Amber, for having us. It was a great pleasure to talk to you and Alex.
Alex, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Amber. That was a very positive discussion. And Hamid, congrats on all the success over in Well Health.
Thank you. Same to you, Alex. It's great having you as a partner.
Thank you again to you both, and I look forward to watching Well Health Technologies and HEALWELL AI's progress through 2024 and beyond. Thanks for chatting.